Welcome, everyone. I'm Dick Deming, Medical Director of Mercy One Cancer Center and the founder of Above and Beyond Cancer. Welcome to our weekly cancer education series. It's brought to you in part by a grant from the Iowa Oncology Society. And our topic tonight, we're calling it The Heart of a Hairdresser, and it's really about aesthetics, right? And I've got three guests. Count them, three. So we have Tricia. And we have Kirsten, and we have Katie.
Yes.
And they all play a role in the, and we're going to talk about Trixie's Salon and Spa and the wonderful services that they do and how that relates to cancer survivorship. But before we do, we're going to get to know each of you.
Okay.
So, Tricia, you're sitting next to me.
Yes.
Where are you from originally? Where were you born?
Born and raised in Des Moines, Iowa.
In Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes,
Okay, that
South
doesn't
side.
happen. South Side.
South Side, yeah.
So,
South Side
high
Pride.
school, Lincoln.
I went to Lincoln.
Stinking Lincoln.
Oh, stop.
Really? I mean,
okay,
people
George,
say
if
that-
this is how this is going to go.
I that's what people say affectionately. You're a rail splitter.
Correct.
You're a rail
Yeah.
splitter.
Yeah.
And what was your personal claim to fame at Lincoln High?
Oh, my goodness. My claim to fame.
Yes, so like
Oh, my
you were a
goodness.
ballerina, you
No, I was
were
not
a
a ballerina.
trombone player,
No.
you were the lead in the musical.
No.
You were
I did a little bit of everything, but I was on
basketball.
the dance team.
Dance team.
I was on the dance team.
With or without pom-poms?
With.
With pom-poms.
Yes. And I played basketball and softball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
And what did you do the year you graduated from high school?
The year I graduated, I was actually working at the Des Moines Register in advertising and going to nursing school. I had started out at DMAC, wanting to go to nursing school, knowing that I always wanted to be a cosmetologist, but my school counselor, had told me that I should go into nursing because I would never make any money as a cosmetologist. Little did she know.
And so
Six
after
salons
a little
later.
bit of nursing, you went into cosmetology.
I did.
And
Yes.
what was the school that you went to?
I went to La James.
Okay. And that's in Des Moines.
That is in Des Moines.
Okay.
Mhm. It was on Hickman, and now it's out in Johnston.
Okay.
So I went to the OG La James.
And what was your very first job after you were trained as a cosmetologist?
I worked at Salon Vesta and Day Spa for 9 years
Okay.
in Ankeny.
And then we're going to learn that you have your own
I do.
place now.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back to that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Kirsten. Kirsten,
Okay.
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ankeny,
Ankeny.
graduated in Ankeny.
High school, Ankeny, back when there was just one.
Just one.
Oh, gosh,
Hawks,
yeah.
go Hawks.
Go Hawks,
Okay,
yes.
yeah,
And your
yeah.
personal claim to fame at Ankeny High.
Not one thing, but show choir,
Okay.
color guard. I was a flag girl.
Okay,
So, yeah.
flag girl.
So hands, arms, they
and
served me
in,
well.
in choral music, were you a soprano or an alto?
Alto.
An alto. Okay.
Yeah.
And were you in, did they have show choir back then?
Yes.
Were you in show choir?
Yes.
What was your favorite show choir routine from
Oh,
the years you
gosh.
competed? Do you remember?
We did a Queen.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, a Queen.
Do a little Bohemian
yes.
Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Could you do a little?
Well, I was going to say, I think it was the Fat Bottom
Yeah.
Girls is the one.
Did they let you do that? Oh, in high school.
And then there was a bicycle race. I remember that. Yeah,
We didn't even
did,
allow that
yeah.
at Lincoln.
I yeah.
Well, Ankeny was a little,
And then when you graduated from high school, what
Yes.
path did you start out on?
I started out, I was working customer service at Sears Direct Response at the time. So just out of high school, I was doing customer service there. That was when it was above the Sears store over at Merle Hay,
Oh, wow.
way back when.
Yes,
Yeah.
back when you used the catalog as a booster
Yes.
seat for kids.
Yes, when they would send you the credit card bill in the mail, and they had all the little inserts. You would call us, and we would you would buy those things from us, and we would process your
And
orders.
then when did you get into aesthetics?
I got into massage,
Massage.
in 2014 is when I
Okay.
went to school.
Okay.
So I had married, had 2 kids, lived quite a life by that point in time. and decided it was time for a career change.
Right.
And
You decided to leave the circus and come back to a.
yeah, start my own circus. Yeah.
And Katie, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Urbandale,
Okay. And
Yeah.
which high school?
Urbandale High School.
Urbandale High School. And what was your personal claim to fame in high school?
I was a cheerleader.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it, did you do all sports, or did they have a different group for each sport? And
I did
which
all
was your
sports, but
favorite?
wrestling was my favorite.
Wrestling was your
Yes, I'm
favorite.
actually in the wall or on the plaque for cheerleading for wrestling there.
Okay.
Not, I didn't wrestle, but I was cheering.
I would imagine it was just boys wrestling back when you
Yes,
were
back
in
then it
high
was.
school.
Yeah. But I
Yes.
still am in there, and whenever I go by, I'm like,
Okay,
I'm
your
still there
plaque is
somehow.
I will have to.
Yeah,
I've
if you're
never
ever in
been
the
to
high school,
Urbandale
you'll
High
have to
School,
see
but
it.
Maybe I will go there just to see the plaque.
Yes, it's worth it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then what was your path after high school?
So I was undecided, so I took a year off, and I worked at a place called Pump It Up in Urbandale, and I managed a kids inflatable zone place.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes.
So it wasn't a weightlifting place. It was a
No,
kids.
and it's not a gas station either. A lot of people here Pump It Up, and they're like, "Oh, is it a gas station?" And I'm like, "No."
Okay, it was a
No.
play zone.
Yeah.
And then when did you get into aesthetics?
So I got a facial by a gal, and I was like, "This is really cool." She just made me feel so confident and wonderful, and I think this is the route I want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the three of you all work at Trixie's
Mm-hmm.
Salon and Spa. And Kirsten's been on our show before because Kirsten also does massage therapy at the Mercy One Richard Deming Cancer Center.
Yes.
It's in
Yes.
high demand there. But back to you, Tricia, and I'm going to call you Trixie because
I love
that's
it.
the name of your spa.
Yeah.
How did you, was this the first Trixie's Spa and Salon and Spa? Is this the first one that you have owned, or did you have previous salons?
So the location that we're at, this was our second location. So our original location was on the south side of Des Moines, but the one that we have is our second location. And for 4 or 5 years, I can't remember, we did own one in Altoona also.
And when you had your very first one, was it always salon and spa, or did you start off as a more traditional salon?
We did.
And add the spa part?
It was just Trixie's Salon, and as we've evolved is where we have added the wellness portion of it and the spa.
Okay. And maybe talk a little bit about the role of aesthetics. How do you define aesthetics? But the role of beauty and as it pertains to, joy and wellness and peace of mind and all the positive things that can come out of beauty.
You bet. So one of our mottos at the salon is that it's never just been about hair. It's truly about the whole person, whether it be from massage, whether it be to esthetician. We want any and everybody that comes into the salon to feel welcome, to feel that they're going to receive 5-star service. And it's a joy for us because a lot of times when people come in and have services, they might be feeling that they're being vain. Does that make sense? And it's not. And we make sure that, again, they are receiving all of the care from head to toe. I mean, literally. And that's important to us, very important to us.
So traditionally a salon, I think of as focusing on hair, and then you over time have added aesthetics of esthetician with the skin, and then body work with massage and Reiki and other touch therapies. Do you incorporate nails as part of your salon as well?
So we do not provide nails at our uptown location. We have a partnership with 5 other retirement communities. So we provide all of those services at 5 retirement communities.
Oh, okay.
So we have partnerships with Wesley Life, with Arbor Springs, Eden Crest, and Meadowview.
And at those centers, do you have a salon in those
We
centers?
do.
And you do obviously hair, but skin, and do you do nails?
Massage and nails.
And nails too.
Yeah.
And I've never been
Yeah.
to a place to have nails, but
Yeah.
I think of it in two different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of the decorative, but as you get older, trying to bend over
Oh my
and
gosh, yeah.
actually
Yes. Clip.
clip your toenails becomes a challenge.
It does. Yeah.
So, is that a different sort of nail person?
It can be. Our nail tech, we're very lucky. She has over 25 years of experience, and she loves working in that type of setting for those people that do require a different type of service. Like you said, it's hard for them to bend over, but also the nail beds have a tendency to become harder. And so there can be different tools that
Right.
need to be used also.
Yeah, you need like hedge trimmers.
You do, yeah, you need a saw.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever see the day that I'm going to want my toenail painted, but I
Yeah.
definitely see the day coming where I want somebody
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
I
you know,
don't,
and not
pull
everybody
a
has
hamstring.
exactly. Yeah, they don't always have resources to podiatrist. So to have someone that is educated on to provide that correct type of nail care is very important to us.
Okay.
And sanitation is important
And
as well.
sanitation, yes, thank
For
you.
nails.
Yes, for preventing infections.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, because as you get older, not only is it harder to lean over, but you get
Yeah.
some peripheral neuropathy, you don't feel things. So, Kirsten, you trained as a massage therapist, and I know from our relationship at Mercy One Richard Deming Cancer Center that you do other, what we call touch therapies.
Yes.
And some, like Reiki, is you can do without actually touching.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
so, how did you decide to become a massage therapist, and what other skill sets or types of touch therapy do you do besides massage therapy?
Sure. Massage was always on my radar. In high school, I had always considered massage therapy as a possibility for a career. Just had never pursued the education or that path until I had encouragement from my current husband. And he really encouraged that education and that path for me. And so, yeah, I pursued my education in massage, started business. What really led me to the oncology path was when my husband had cancer in 21. I really saw how the touch therapy helped him ease some of those aches and pains, just kind of helped him deal with the aftermath and the effects of chemotherapy.
The emotional part.
Yeah, the emotions as well. You know, your body goes through a lot of changes, whether it be radiation, chemo, just the whole mental aspect of a cancer diagnosis. So that's really what led me on the oncology pathway, and then adding on Reiki, energy work. So that's, like you said, is a hands-off modality, if you will. That's been an incredible thing to add to my toolbox and experience with patients. I also do manual lymph drainage, and I just got certified in that last fall. That is a very light touch, but is more of a pumping type modality where your cardiovascular system has your heart to do the pumping for you. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, and so what I do is I help encourage that lymphatic system by pumping along the body, your arms and legs, and kind of encouraging that system to work. So it helps clean out the blood, if you will, clean out the waste and things from the body, and helps the body get rid of that and excess fluid also.
And so at our cancer center and at Trixie's, you practice massage therapy, Reiki, and the lymph.
Manual lymph drainage.
Manual lymph drainage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and I also do burn scar massage as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I work with burn patients, whether it be from fires or hot water, but that has also trickled over into scar work from surgeries. So mastectomies, or whether it be lat flaps or anything from cancer surgeries, that's really been integrated well into my sessions at the hospital or at Trixie's.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And Katie, you're an esthetician, and what was your training? What type of a school did you go to?
I also went to La James, but the
Okay.
newer La James, not the older La James.
Okay.
I'm a little bit younger than
Yeah.
Trisha.
And so when you go, I'm going to let that lie.
Yeah.
When you go to school, do people get a little bit of everything? Like when you go to medical school, you get a little bit of everything before you decide what you're going to be when you grow up. Do you get some experience with hair and with skin, and then do you make a choice, or do you learn both as part of your training?
You can learn both if you want to, but I just did the aesthetics program.
Okay.
So it's a little bit shorter than the cosmetology program, and it's just skin.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, teach me the word. Does cosmetology just refer to the hair?
It encompasses everything.
It encompasses the skin and the hair.
Yes, so when you are a cosmetologist, there are certain courses and certain hours that you also take as an esthetician. Now, being that I am ancient, like Katie had commented.
You're double board certified.
I am.
Right.
Yes, because back
It was
in the
back
day.
before they split.
Yes,
So
yes.
You were
You are
double
correct.
board certified
Yes,
in
yep.
hair and skin, and I'm not making light of that.
No, yeah.
But yeah, the in everything, it's like let's split things.
Correct.
But back in the day, you did both, and then
Yeah.
by the time you're going to school, you make a distinction.
Correct. Yes, and
Yes.
then they kind of roll over too. So if I wanted to go back for school, I'd have hours that would
Yeah.
roll over, which is
Okay.
nice.
And how did you decide that you wanted to be an esthetician?
Yeah, so I went in for like a facial, like I said, and the lady made me feel so wonderful. And then I went home and I was kind of Googling, and I was like, what is an esthetician? What exactly can I do to help provide for people like she did for me? And then within like 4 months, I was signed up at La James, and then 9 months later, I
Okay.
had my aesthetics license.
And tell us a little bit more about it. So I'm kind of, in my mind, wondering how much of it is massage and
Yeah.
how much of it is knowing product, whether it is, cleansing products
Yep.
or moisturizing products or what I would call makeup. I mean,
Yeah.
is all of that part of
It's
being
all
an
part of it. So
esthetician?
I do makeup, waxing, lashes, brows, and skin. So it's
Okay.
kind of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine one subdivision of what you do could be a makeup
Yeah,
artist
yeah,
at
you
a
could go off
TV
on your own.
show or a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell us a bit more about maybe not the makeup part, but the healthy skin, whether that's massaging or cleansing or what are the things you do?
Yeah, for sure. So I do a lot of facials. So basically, it's like going to the doctor. You get medicine to help. But when you come to me, I'm the help. And then you leave, and then you go home and you do your skincare routine. So I'm directing you on what to do.
Okay.
So if you need the products of how to help with like rosacea or acne or anti-aging, things like that, I'm your go-to. So I guide you on how to do it. But then you also come to me and get facial massages because that helps stimulate.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I showed up like right now
Mm-hmm.
and say I want a facial, what
Yes.
would that be?
So it varies. I'd have to do a skin analysis.
Okay.
So I'd have to go through and do a consultation of everything and tell you, this is what
Do
I
you use a
think.
magnifying glass for that?
I
or-
don't.
Okay.
I do more with my hands. I
Okay.
think that works better. You can go underneath the mag lamp and see too as well. But that would be somebody who's wanting more of like a dermatologist versus just a facial. So I would give you just like a basic facial and help with dryness or flakiness or hydration or oily and kind of go from there.
And so the facial, is that the massage or is that putting stuff on me?
Both.
Okay.
Yep. So a facial includes the massage and the products.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the philosophy that went behind developing Trixie's Salon and Spa and the intersection of Trixie's Salon and Spa with oncology patients.
Yeah. So, first of all, I come from a very long line of hairdressers, and so it truly is in my blood. And when I finally made that decision to go back to be a cosmetologist, I knew that it was the right move. And living on the south side, where Trixie's evolved, is that we did not have a high-end salon. So that is how Trixie's evolved. Trixie is my nickname, and one of my best friends, Shannon, her dad Mark had given me that nickname. And he consistently asks me when he's going to receive royalties. And I'm like, Mark, I'm a small business owner. That doesn't happen. That is how Trixie's evolved. Where the spa portion came in is that we just had a lot of our clients asking, I'd love to come to a one-stop shop. I'd like to come to a place where I can receive my facials. I'd love to come to a place where I can receive the nails and the spa. I honestly, in my career in owning Trixie's, did not want to have a spa because there's a lot that goes into it, as these two can testify, and Kirsten owning a spa at one time. There was a lot of that training, overhead, supplies, material, equipment that goes into a lot of it. And if it's not done right, it doesn't make money. And it doesn't provide that luxury service to the clients that are coming into us. So I knew that when we started it, we had to have the right type of team. So that is how Trixie's Salon and Spa evolved. How the wellness portion evolved is I had received an award at a chamber event. And one of the quotes that I had made, and I apologize, I can't remember what it was by one of the founders of a hospice center here in Des Moines. And one of the staff members was in the audience and had come up to me and asked me, would you ever have a desire to volunteer at hospice? And I was like, oh my goodness, no, that's not for me. And I went home and I prayed about it, and something just kept tugging at my heart. And so I started volunteering, offering respite care. And one of our patients needed a haircut. And I'm like, well, you know what? I can provide that. I actually have my scissors in the car, and that just sparked interest in me providing other haircuts for hospice patients. As everything evolves, when you have a passion and a heart for it, that passion ignited in providing services to cancer patients. And not only cancer patients, but also their caretakers. And that is where Heart of a Hairdresser formed. So not only do I do those type of services, I also provide wig services. I'm at John's Daughter. I provide haircuts there every Wednesday. And I knew with the need in Des Moines that I wanted to create a wellness team that was outside of the medical facility. So again, having someone come in and could receive all of those services under Trixie's and provide that love and resources.
And Trixie's Salon and Spa in Des Moines proper is on like 42nd and University.
Correct.
Uptown shopping
Shopping center.
Uptown shopping center. Now, I would imagine that is available for anyone, regardless of
Correct.
whether you have a cancer or any disease. So it's
Correct.
But you also have a specialty, and I know that from Kirsten that, for example, in the world of massage, there's special oncology massage certification. Does the same thing go for cosmetology, estheticians, that there's special certification?
Yes, there is. I have many certifications in regards to alopecia, to cancer, to people, when they lose their hair to cancer, how are they supposed to take care of their skin? What are some resources, right down to cold capping? More just being a person to provide resources, of all of the amazing services that we have in Des Moines. But yes, definitely certifications, for sure.
I would think that there's a bit of a difference just philosophically in the establishing of the relationship when someone comes in who's a cancer patient and either is knowing that they're going to be starting a treatment where they're going to lose their hair, or they have lost their hair and are looking for wig services, or they're, just growing out after a treatment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of emotions that go with that process for women. And maybe each of you talk a bit about, body image and how body image plays into self-confidence or our sense of joy and well-being, and maybe in relationship to cancer patients?
Yeah. So primarily, my clientele are women. I do have some men. Quite honestly, though, men have a different approach 9 out of 10 times of what they feel and look like when they lose their hair. A lot of times when they sit down, there are a lot of tears. And then they're embarrassed because they feel like they're being vain. And I always have to remind them that hair is a part of our identity. There is nothing vain about this. You did not choose this. We talk through the process of, do you want to have that control of removing all of your hair, or would you like for it to just come out on its own? So I always like to talk about what that would look like. Again, 9 out of 10 times, they like to have the control and remove the hair themselves, because again, as you know, with cancer, a lot of control is out of your hands. And so they still want to have some type of normalcy. And so we walk through that process. And then again, we just talk about what shampoo you should use, what conditioner should you use, what type of massage should you be applying on your scalp. Right down to, do you want to wear a wig? Some people want to, some people don't. Again, it's all about meeting them where they are at and providing that love and comfort to them, and providing some type of normalcy, because everything else in their life is not normal right now, with a diagnosis that they did not choose.
Okay. Let's go to Katie, and then we'll come back to Kirsten. So, Katie, in terms of skincare and aesthetics in someone that's either getting ready to go through chemotherapy or going through chemotherapy, I would imagine some people are concerned about, well, what's in the product, and is the product going to interact with chemotherapy, and then also, depending on what they're getting, it can change the whole color and pallor of skin. And so what are some of the conversations that you go through with women either getting ready to go through chemotherapy or women that are in the midst of chemotherapy and have lost not only their hair but their eyebrows and perhaps their eyelashes?
Yeah. So recently I had a client, she was starting chemo and her hair would be falling out, and it was uncomfortable to have like the scalp massaging and stuff like that. So I had to completely avoid that because she was just like, it's hurting way worse than that. So we have different products we can recommend to help with like the patchy skin and things like that. Dryness is the main thing. So I have to be really careful if I'm using like exfoliators and things like that, and recommending just using more natural products versus anything that has any like salicylic acids or glycolics or things like that onto the skin. Another main thing too is people losing eyebrows. That is a thing that happens very common in the first beginning of it, and they're like, well, I just want to look like me. I just want to feel like me. I want to just look like me. And I'm like, well, here, we can, put a pencil on. I can show you how to draw that or make that a part of your everyday look. Yeah.
And then, Kirsten, in your world of massage therapy, along with lymphatics and Reiki, patients that you care for, men and women, might have no outward signs of their cancer, but some might have had a double mastectomy or a radical neck dissection or, an amputation. Talk a little bit about body image and self-awareness as you approach massage.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's just making people feel comfortable with the new body that they're in. Like Tricia had said, there's so much control that you lose when you have that cancer diagnosis and you go through that treatment and things that happen to you along the way. I feel like my job as a massage therapist is to just help them be comfortable with the new body that they are in. I feel like a lot of people experience or don't get to experience touch very much through their journey. A lot of the patients that we see don't have a loved one, don't have a companion, don't have somebody to hug. So just having somebody to talk to them about how they're looking, how they're feeling, And then also share that space and share those touches, I feel is very important. It's a very intimate relationship that I have with our patients and clients. And it's a very rewarding experience.
So I maybe want to talk a little bit about the concept of doing it in the health system and then doing it, at the Uptown Shopping Center. So one of the reasons we brought massage therapy into the cancer center as part of integrative oncology is before Kirsten meets the patient, she sees my note, knows what surgeries they've had, what cancer they have, are they cancer-free, are they living with stage 4 cancer, have they had parts of their body removed, are they, they have a colostomy. I sometimes think, but I don't know this, that those patients, offering them a massage in the cancer center where the massage therapist is used to dealing with all of these things is comforting to the patient, where they might not just go to a freestanding, shopping center massage therapy place and walk in thinking, oh, I'm going to have to explain too many things. And how do you observe that doing therapy both in the cancer center and in a freestanding salon?
A lot of the patients that we do see at the cancer center do come see me outside of and continue care outside
So
of it.
they sort of
because
establish the
of-
relationship with you,
Yes.
and they know,
Yes.
regardless of where they see you, you already know them, and
Yes.
you know, and
Because
they feel
I
very comfortable.
know what their diagnosis is, their treatment has been, where they are at in their journey. But I also see a lot of people coming to me that have been referred, word of mouth referrals from other patients. I've had several patients that clients that are coming to me outside of the cancer center. I don't have their Epic reports. I don't have their chart. I ask a ton of questions at their initial intake. I will get a release of information and talk to a doctor if I need to or feel like we need to have more information. But I feel like there's a level of training and education and awareness that myself and some other massage therapists have that put us a little bit higher on a level to care for those patients.
Having had the experience of caring for
Yes.
a lot of cancer patients that have had
Yeah.
many different types of cancer, many
Yeah.
different types of
Yeah.
surgeries.
Yep. And it's a lot about, being able to adapt, work around the port, work around the drains, work around the incisions. There's been a lot to learn in
Yes.
this journey, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
I would
That's for sure.
imagine most patients that have ports and drains are not going to just walk into a
No,
massage therapy
no.
center.
And with my education with working with cancer patients, I am now also seeing individuals that have pacemakers or other, insulin devices, pumps, those kind of things, because they have been weary and hesitant to go to other massage therapists because of those devices. They're worried about how they're going to work around. Are they going to touch something that's not going to be comfortable? Are they going to be too firm? Is it? So I have had some referrals that way too, where it's not necessarily cancer or oncology, but just that medical massage aspect, just having that awareness of the medical terminology, the devices, how to kind of work around that and integrate the massage into their treatment as well. It's been truly wonderful. Yeah.
And Tricia, you've described that you've had experiences working, doing hair, cosmetology services, both in a cancer center and in your salon. Maybe compare and contrast that experience with a cancer patient that you meet in the cancer center, where obviously before you even say hello, you know that they have cancer and they know that you know that they have cancer, as opposed to someone who might walk into your salon at 42nd and University, where you don't know as they enter the room whether they are someone who just is coming to you because they're going to a big party and they want to look great, or they're coming to you because they're going to be losing their hair next week.
a lot of our clients, our guests, it's the same basis as Kirsten was talking about. We've built those relationships with people like yourself and people, or relationships with other hospitals, other doctors, other nurses. And so a lot of my referrals also, or a lot of my clients come from referral base. Our wig services, I provide that under Strands of Strength.
A wonderful
Oh, my
organization.
goodness,
yeah.
yes. Deb is just amazing. And so that.
Deb Pulver,
Yeah,
who-
Deb Pulver, thank you.
Cancer survivor
Yeah.
who founded that
Yeah,
organization.
an amazing organization. And so we get a lot of referrals. That is how I get a lot of referrals also, because our salon is a partner with Strands of Strength. It is very rare that I will get a referral that is not based off of a partnership or a connection that we have outside.
So you
of-
get very few cancer patients that walk in for
Correct.
cancer-related type services that haven't been referred. and
Correct.
So you know they're coming.
Yeah.
You know that they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is how I prefer it too, because again, sanitation, I want to make sure that we are setting up a very healing, very energetic space for them. I want to make sure that we have all of the resources that we can provide for them, and then go over questions. Very intimate space.
So what about privacy? I mean, I think of, pictures of salons where there's just chairs and people working and no curtains in between, and
Yeah.
sometimes the clients are talking to each other.
Yeah.
And I think of maybe somebody coming in to have their head shaved because of chemotherapy,
Yeah.
where that environment might not seem like the right environment.
Yeah, so I have my own private room.
Okay.
For that. For that. That's something that's very, very important for me. And it was also, it's important for Deb too. That's one thing that she asks when you want to become a partner, is there a private area? And that's the same for Kirsten and for Katie. We all have private rooms to provide those services.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about men and their services. So,
Yeah.
Kirsten, I kind of, in my mind, and know how many of our men who have cancer survivors come to you, and doesn't seem to be an issue. I mean, men have, from the sports side or the just health side, getting a massage is not that unusual. But I would imagine from the skin side, that's not super common. Maybe it's more common with X, Y, and Z's than with baby boomers. But maybe talk a little bit about male cancer
bit.
patients, and how would you compare and contrast the services you provide them versus women? So maybe start with you first, Trish,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to Katie.
You bet. I have a lot of men clients. Now, most of them are not receiving wig services, but why they're coming is that, again, it's safe, okay? It's sanitary, and it's just one person in there. It's just a one-on-one, and that's also how it is at
And then you're
Empower.
talking about they're losing their hair from chemo, and so you're either shaving or
Correct.
cutting very closely.
Yeah, and when it comes back, as we call them, chemo curls, as you know also, is that the hair doesn't always come back the same.
Soft and
yes,
fine and curly.
or curly, or right down to a different color. And so men want to know how to take care of that also.
Okay.
So we walk through that. We walk through that whole process. I will tell you though, most of my men make a joke out of it, and I don't know if they're trying to do that to make myself feel more comfortable or for them. But I just go along with them because it's most important for them to feel comfortable. But I still treat them the same. I still walk through the process of how to care for your scalp, how to care for your hair. They also lose their eyebrows. If they have a mustache or a beard, they lose a lot of that also, and it can come back in very patchy. How do we take care of that? So, yeah.
Okay. So is a mustache and a beard your territory, or Katie's territory.
Definitely not me.
That would be my territory.
But you do eyebrows and eyelashes.
Yes,
But
yeah.
you draw the line
Yes,
at mustaches and beard.
I don't think I would trust myself, and I'm not trained on that.
Okay.
So,
Out of your scope.
yep.
Yep.
Okay. So, but you could do their mustache and their eyebrows.
Yes, and their eyelashes.
And their- okay.
Yeah,
I can do their nose.
I can do from body to. I can do from head to toe.
Okay.
I can do from head to toe. Yeah,
Well, hopefully not many of them need their toes shaved, but
you'd be surprised.
yeah. Katie, talk a bit about the men
Yeah.
with cancer that you have served in terms of
Yeah.
facial, either skin or eyelashes, eyebrows.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't really had a lot of men clients quite yet, but if I do, it's referral from, their wife coming in or daughter coming in or somebody they trust who is like, hey, you should go see this lady. She's amazing and she'll take good care of you. And then they come in and like Tricia said, they like to make some jokes about it and like, oh, I'm just signed up today. I don't know. And then they leave and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to do that again.
Yeah,
like,
I'll reschedule.
Yeah. But I do a lot of men's back facials, dryness of the back. So everything you would do on your face.
Wait. A back facial.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can tell you.
At first I thought, are you waxing?
I do back waxes, but this is more so
Okay.
like as on the face with the
Okay,
products
okay.
and the exfoliation and the steam because
Okay.
we get a lot of acne back there and we
Okay.
neglect our back. So
It's hard to reach.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's open up for questions, okay? So we have a live studio audience here, some with and some without hair,
They're beautiful.
and they are all beautiful.
Yes.
So you guys get first questions. If you're watching us live streaming right now, you can also ask a question. Just put the question in either the comment or the chat software, part of the software that you're using. And since we don't have an extra mic because we're using all four up here, so I'll repeat the question. So who's first? Yes, Gary.
This is a question for Katie.
Okay.
It was interesting how you actually do, feel and you go over. Do you ever discover cancers that way? Like a basal cell, squamous, or possibly a melanoma?
So the question has to do with Katie's examination of the skin, and does she ever, in the act of examining, see things that she thinks are skin cancer, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, there's many times when people will come and they'll be like, can you look at this spot? Can you tell me what you think? And, I say, I'm not a doctor. I can't let you know, but I would go check that out with a dermatologist. I would take that to somebody professional. And sometimes they come back and they're like, thank goodness you told me to go because that is a spot or that was not, or they want me to come back and have another biopsy and things like that, so.
And when you examine a patient and work on their face, do you wear gloves or do you do it with your bare hands and you wash?
So always washing first, but
Sure.
it just depends on the service I'm doing. So, if somebody wants me to wear gloves, I will
Sure.
use gloves. If there's any open sores or if somebody's, has been bleeding anywhere, things like that, always have gloves on. But a lot of the times it is just my natural touch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Kirsten, same thing with
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's
wash
no
a
breaks
lot.
in the,
Yeah,
you wash.
no
but
breaks in the
but if
skin.
there's no breaks in the skin, you'll do
Yeah.
the massage with your bare hands. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Next question. Yes, George.
I got a question for Tricia because she is older, as Katie points out.
Be sure to say that.
Well, I'm wondering, has the licensing requirements changed over the years? And
Good
has
question.
the stigma lessened or has it become greater through the years of cancer and what you provide people?
So the question has to do with the rules and regulations of running a spa and salon. Have those changed and tightened up, and also maybe the training and certification? And then what have you noticed in terms of maybe patients, or as you would say, clients, either willingness to talk about cancer or willingness to seek services? Back in the 1950s, having cancer was kind of an embarrassment, and there was a lot of shame and stigma associated with it. And now, through Lance Armstrong and others, there's much more of just claiming with pride cancer survivorship.
Yeah, great question. So yes, hours have changed. George, Iowa used to be 2,100 hours, and now
training.
Mhm, at a certified school, and now it is 1,500 hours.
So less training.
Less training,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
but that could be a whole other topic.
Okay.
And I don't need to get on my soapbox about that. But one thing that is transpiring, which we do provide at Trixie's and is very exciting, it's called a apprenticeship program. So we are certified through the state of Iowa, and we can have someone come in and receive their cosmetology license or their nail tech license under our strict supervision. And we have a partnership with a company called Autorashi. And so they help us with the book work, but we do the hands-on portion, and that actually is 2,200 hours. So it is a paid apprenticeship program. And what's great with that is that traditional school's not for everybody. People have to work. Some people don't have the luxury of just going to cosmetology school and not being able to work. I love the program because I really like to be able to mold someone from the very beginning and get them acclimated with our culture and our vision and our mission.
So to understand this correct, your apprenticeship program does not require that they've done some training.
That is correct.
They can come in with no training and get all of the training
Yeah.
with you as an apprentice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Next, yes, Poon.
Katie, with your business, do you tend to send the patient or the clients home with samples so they can practice?
Yeah, so the question has to be with the skin products, lots of products. Do you give patients samples to try at home? Do they mostly make a decision in the shop and purchase, or a little bit of both?
I would say a little bit of both. I do a lot of samples. That way they can do test patching of the skin to make sure that it's going to work for them, because a lot of people have a lot of sensitivity and irritation. I also send links of what I would recommend for them to buy. A lot of our clients were on a chat base, so they'll be like, hey, I'm going to the store, is this something I can use? And I'm like, yes or no, or let me read that in person because I don't know where you got that kind of thing. That doesn't look right. But yeah, we do a lot of samples for our guests.
But you have all the products that they can purchase too?
Yes, yep, we can get it for purchase for them. Yep.
Other questions? Yes, Kevin.
As you know, the relationship between a cosmetologist and a client is very tight, really, really close.
Really.
But it's not something that feels apart a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen. What do you think's the major cause for the breakups? Is it infidelity?
Okay, so
communication?
so the question has to do with,
love it.
Yes, that the relationship between a cosmetologist and their client can be more than just hair, and there can be a level of trust and probably conversations that happen that are beyond just the hair.
Yeah.
And so what's the right boundary? So in medical care, we talk about appropriate boundaries. And what's the appropriate boundaries? And what did you learn in school, but more importantly, what has your experience been? And I would imagine there's some clients where you draw a boundary, and other clients that you've known for years where that boundary is quite fluid.
So what we learned in school, and that is a great question, is you don't talk about religion, politics, or sex. That's what we learned in school.
Well, what are you going to talk?
No, and let me tell you, that's all changed. That
That's
is
all
all
changed.
out the door.
Okay.
That's all out the door. They will bring in something that they just saw on their phone. Tricia, could you explain this to me?
So I would imagine you let them lead the way in
Most
terms of what the
definitely.
conversation
Yes,
is.
most definitely.
And if they want to talk about, how their partner did them wrong,
Yes.
they're going to bring that up, not
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, and I think Kevin had said something about a breakup. That usually comes with lack of communication. Lack of communication. when
So we're
there's a
talking
breakup.
about the breakup between the client and the cosmetologist.
Correct.
Not the breakup between the client and
Yeah,
their spouse.
and their spouse. Well, you
okay.
can talk
That's
about
the
that
next
too, but-
service.
That's the next
Yeah.
service.
So, yeah, how do you deal with, like, you just finished up and they look in the mirror and you can tell they don't like it.
Oh, that's the
How do
worst.
you do that? What do you do?
You just run away quickly.
Yeah, I mean, do you see that's, ooh, this is the end of the relationship? Do you think
No.
I can fix this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours before you have to go to that prom.
Most of them will let you know.
Yes,
If
they
they're
do.
not happy with
Uh-huh.
what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you get really good at reading body language.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Feeling the energy change, and just being honest. Being honest. Yeah, I can sense that you're not liking this. What can we do differently for you? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
at
can't put eyebrows
Trixie's-
back though.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you take them off, you can't put them back. But at Trixie's, we would always work to make it right. We always want the customer to be happy.
Okay.
We do callbacks.
Yep, yep, for sure.
Any other questions?
I got a lot of questions.
George.
I love George.
Another question for Katie. I've heard that the skin is considered to be so significant that it's an organ.
It's the
and-
largest.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
that was on my test.
so I guess you agree with that, and how does that play into your practice?
Jeez, George. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about the skin as the largest organ, you may mean certainly by square inches, area, surface area. But maybe also talk about, besides the face, you mentioned the face and the back. Do you deal with skin everywhere? And obviously, you mentioned waxing. and
Yeah.
There are certain
Yeah.
intimate parts that get waxed. And
Yeah.
is that part of your service as well?
Yeah, I do everything. I get very, very close with clients and learn. And again, it comes with that relationship of being on that personable level and understanding. And but yeah, skin is definitely the largest, and I see it all. I do everything from the face down, back, hands. That can be the feet too. We do
Reflexology.
reflexology, some massages.
Okay. George, did that answer your question, or do you want something in more detail?
Yeah. what-
Can you look at this, and what would you do?
I was really struck with your comment about being able to analyze or look at people's skin to determine if they've got an issue that needs to be looked at further. Now, when I go to a dermatologist, he can look at it almost instantly a lot of times and say, nah, that's nothing to worry about, or it is. Are you that good?
I've been doing it for about 15 years, so I'd like to think I'm that good, but I'm not. I mean, honestly, it's going to need somebody higher up who's had that level of expertise. I can only, get you so far of, hey, this product I think will help, or we need to do a little bit of like scraping of the skin today, taking off that extra exfoliation, things like that. But no, I think you'd have to go to a dermatologist to get that level.
One thing I do pride ourselves on at Trixie's too, and we talk about this often, is that we are very high touch, not high tech.
Okay.
And that is the difference with us also.
What about fillers or lip puffer uppers or Botox? Where does that? Who needs? What sort of credentialing is needed for those things?
Katie? I mean, if those should definitely be provided in a medical facility.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Nurse practitioner.
by a nurse practitioner, overseen by a nurse practitioner.
And also dentist can too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
dentists can also.
I think doctors can do it too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I get
Yeah.
yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is a medical.
Correct.
Both,
Correct.
both the
Yeah.
lip
Yeah, we
Yes.
we don't do that in
enlargement
ours.
and
No,
the
you have to have a
Botox,
nurse
those are
practitioner
done-
on hand.
There has
done
Yeah.
with them in a medical facility.
Correct.
In a medical
Yes,
facility.
and anybody that,
Okay.
if you are getting it outside of a medical facility, I would not recommend that.
Okay.
I would not trust that either.
Okay.
And it's painful.
We have time for one more question. Poon, you get the last question.
So if someone wants to come to your spa and just go down the row and say, okay, I want this, So for example, with the Reiki, would you do a massage and Reiki on the same day, plus the facial?
Whole spa day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could, yeah. So we could infuse, I do a lot of combos with massage and Reiki, where we infuse Reiki into the massage. We also do a lot of massage and manual lymph drainage together. You could do a massage and a facial back to back. You could do hair massage, facial. You could have a whole spa day. You could even bring breakfast and have that in the community room and have a massage, and then have lunch in the community room, and then get your hair done. And you could just spend the day with us, Poon, if you'd like. We'd love to have you in. You could do all those
Great.
services if you'd like. Yeah.
And one thing that I meant to bring up, and I forgot, so we're going to do it. We're going to end with tell us what is the Heart of a Hairdresser as a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. So talk to a little bit. We'll go out with a description of what the organization Heart of a Hairdresser is.
So Heart of a Hairdresser, we provide free salon services to those that are terminally and chronically ill. Like I said, to the patient and to the caregiver. We work closely with hospice. We work closely with the hospitals. Of course, the hospice facilities. We do provide a lot of inpatient care at their homes, especially when they cannot leave their home. So we provide even haircuts that are people that are in their bed and cannot leave. We also have a huge passion for our homeless veterans. So Kirsten and I, every year at the Stand Down, we provide those services. We provide those services for them also. Our big goal is to eventually have a mobile unit, and we can provide those services in our rural communities, because I'm sure, as you know also, resources and care can sometimes be a little challenging to receive those in rural Iowa.
Great.
Yeah, so it's a
What a
passion of ours.
wonderful organization. So our guests tonight have been Tricia and Kirsten and Katie, all from Trixie's Salon and Spa, and also the not-for-profit version of what they do, and that is called the Heart of a Hairdresser. So thank you for being our
Thank
guest.
you for
Thanks
having
for having
us.
us,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you
If
for
anyone
having us.
watching this show tonight knows someone that would benefit by watching it, you're in luck, because the show has been recorded and will be available on demand beginning tomorrow at the Above and Beyond Cancer YouTube channel and also the Mercy Cancer Center website. I hope you join us again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.